Okay. Hello everyone. In this video we are going to discuss about fungi, what their introduction and their general characters. Okay. Fungi. What is this fungi? Fungi is the plural form. Its singular form is called fungus. Okay. Singular is fungus and in plural form they are called fungi. Okay. So in introduction we will discuss what is this fungi. Introduction. What is this fungi? Fungi are generally also called mushrooms. M-U-S-H, M-U-S-H, mushrooms. Okay. Fungi are also called mushrooms. Then, who are these fungi? Okay. How you can define fungi? Fungi are non-chlorophyllous, non-chlorophyllous means chlorophyll is absent, or you may say achlorophyllous. Non-chlorophyllous, eukaryotic. Eukaryotic means nucleus is surrounded by a nuclear membrane. Eukaryotic, then non-chlorophyllous, eukaryotic, thallophytes. You may say also heterotrophs. Due to absence of chlorophyll, they depend upon others for their nutrition. That's why they are called heterotrophs. Heterotrophs, T-R-O-P-H-S. Heterotrophs, thallophytes. Thallophytes. Thallophytes means their body structure is a thallophyte. Their body structure is made up of thallus. Thallus means a undifferentiated mass of root, stem and leaf. In normal plants, we can distinguish what is root, what is stem and what is leaf. But there are some plants where we cannot distinguish. In fungi also, we cannot distinguish what is root, stem and leaf. So that undistinguished body, plant body or any fungal body is called your thallus, and due to the thallus nature of the body, it is called a thallophyte. Okay, so how will you define fungi? Fungi are non-chlorophyllous, eukaryotic, heterotrophs, thallophytes. Then, in introduction, study of fungi is called your mycology. Study of fungi is called mycology. Okay, so this is the general introduction. What is fungi? Okay, they are non-chlorophyllous, chlorophyll is absent, that's why they grow better in the night, because your sunlight is not required for them. Okay, achlorophyllous, but chlorophyll is absent, but carotenoids are also present. Okay, chlorophylls may be absent, but carotenoids, other light harvesting complex, that is also present. Carotenoid. Eukaryotic, heterotrophs, thallophytes. Then the study of fungi is called mycology. Then comes to their general characters. General characters. In general characters, first we are going to discuss about their habitat. Number one, habitat, or you may say their ecology. What is the habitat? Habitat means the environmental condition in which these fungi are grow. What is the environmental condition required? Okay, that is called the habitat. Their surrounding. According to habitat, fungi are classified into three different groups. One is thermophilous, psychophilous, P-S-Y-C-H-R-O, psychrophilous, P-H-I-L-O-U-S, psychophilous. Another is xerophilous, X-E-R-0, P-H-I-L-O-U-S, xerophilous. Thermophilous refers to heat loving. Thermo refers to your general heat loving. Psychrophilous refers to snow, S-N-O-W, snow molds, M-O-U-L-D-S, snow molds. Xerophilous refers to dry condition loving. Okay, so thermophilous refers to those fungi which are grow better in 20 degree to 50 degree Celsius or above. Okay, the fungi which grow better in 20 degree to 50 degree Celsius or above are called your thermophilous. But below 20 degree, their growth will be affected. Below 20 degree Celsius, their growth is affected. Okay, so they are called your thermophilous fungi. Then psychophilous fungi are better grow in minus 10 degree Celsius to minus 15 degree Celsius. Okay. Psychophilous fungi are better growing minus 10 degree to minus 15 degree Celsius. Generally, they are found in the Arctic or latitude polar regions, etc. In where the snow is present. Minus 10 degree to minus 15 degree Celsius is suitable for their better growth and development. Okay. Then xerophilous. Xerophilous are the fungi which develop in that condition where water concentration is very less. That means the dry condition. The fungi which grow in a condition where water concentration is very less or very low, and solute concentration is very high, Okay, where water concentration is very low and solute concentration is very high, at that condition the fungi are grow called xerophilous. What are the examples of this type of condition where water concentration is less and solute concentration is high? Some examples of these condition are your jam, jelly, then your meat, etc. Jam, jelly, meat, then your leather, 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 then your salted fish, luni sukha, so etc. So these are the condition where water concentration is very low and solute concentration is very high. So at that condition, the fungi are grow called xerophilous fungi. Okay. So according to the habitat or ecology, fungi are generally classified into 3 different groups. So first point is clear, their habitat. Then their second point, second character. Their second character is their thallus. Or about their body. Okay. The plant body of the fungi is a thallus. That means it is undistinguished. It is very impossible to distinguish what is the root, stem and leaf. That's why the plant body of the fungi is called a thallus. Then the plant body or the thallus is made up of a bunch of mycelia. Another type of cell, mycelia. Its singular is mycelium. Thallus is made up of a bunch of mycelia, and these mycelia are made up of a bunch of hyphae. 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 Its singular is hypha. 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 Okay. The thallus. How the thallus of the fungi is made? Thallus is made up of mycelia. Mycelia is made up of hyphae. Thallus is made up of a bunch of or a group of mycelia, and a single mycelia is found by a group of hyphae. Okay. Then these hyphae are two types. One is septate hyphae. Another is aseptate hyphae. Septate means septa is present. That means a partition wall is present between the hypha. Suppose this is a hypha. Consider this is a hypha. If partition wall or septa are present like this, if partition walls are present, then these partitions wall are called septa, and the hyphae is called septate hyphae. And if these partition walls are absent, then that is called your aseptate hyphae. Okay. This is the general concept of the plant body. How the plant body is made up. The plant body or the thallus is made up of a bunch of mycelia. A single mycelium is consists of a bunch of hyphae, and a single hypha is either your septate or maybe your aseptate. If septate, then due to the presence of septa, and aseptate, in aseptate condition the septa are absent. And what is the septa? They are nothing but the partition walls. Okay. And then what is the ultrastructure of a thallus? Okay, let us discuss what is the ultrastructure. Ultrastructure means the structure we will see under the electron microscope. How a fungal thallus looks like under the electron microscope. Okay, under the electron microscope we will find the cell wall. Okay, the wall, the cell is covered by a cell wall. The presence of cell wall is a plant characteristics. Presence of cell wall. Then inside the cell wall, the liquid present, that is called your cytoplasm. In cytoplasm, a nucleus is present, and nucleus is surrounded by nuclear membrane, and that's why it is a eukaryotic cell. Nucleus. Apart from the nucleus, your endoplasmic reticulums are formed. Endoplasmic reticulums. This is your nucleus. Then endoplasmic reticulum. Then your mitochondria are found. Cell organelles. Mitochondria. Mitochondria. Then there, yes, important thing. The Golgi body in fungi is called dictyosome, like in plant. In plant, DICT or dictyosome. In plant, Golgi body is called dictyosome, like that in fungi also. The Golgi body are called dictyosomes. Okay. Then RNA, ribosome, etc. are found. Ribosome. Then some microbodies. Then storage food, etc. are found. Storage food, etc. found. So this is the ultrastructure. Ultrastructure of a typical fungal thallus. How a fungal thallus looks like under the electron microscope. It is surrounded by a cell wall. Mark here, plasma membrane is generally absent. Okay. Cell wall, then the cytoplasm, mitochondria, ribosome, nucleus is present, eukaryotic nucleus. Then this endoplasmic reticulum either rough or smooth. Then the dictyosome, Golgi body is called a dictyosome. Then microbodies, etc. Okay. These are the cell organelles. So this is the idea about their thallus. Then what is the storage food? Okay. Acha. Another main thing I have forgotten. Their cell wall composition. This cell wall of a thallus, fungi. Cell wall of fungi is composed of chitin. Okay, cell wall is composed of chitin. What is chitin? It is a polysaccharide. Okay, it is a structural polysaccharide. This chitin is also found in the cell of a mollusca. Cell, SHELL, outer covering. Cell of a mollusca like your snail, quagga, etc. So in the chitin which found in the cell of a mollusca, which is undigestible for human beings, is present in the cell wall of a fungi, not in the plant. Chitin is not found in any plant cell wall. Okay, they are only found in the fungal cell wall. Okay, the cellular composition of the fungi is chitin. What is chitin? It is a type of structural polysaccharide. Okay, they are structure finished, ultrastructure finished, thallus body finished. Then their cellular composition finished. Then their nutrition. In third point, about their nutrition. Nutrition refers to how they get their food or energy. Okay, nutrition. As I said earlier, fungi are non-chlorophyllous. That means chlorophyll is absent in fungi. That's why they are heterotrophs. They depend upon other animals, like human beings. We depend upon other animals, not upon our mothers or wives. We depend upon other animals like other for meat we depend upon goat, etc., and for other food purpose we depend upon plants. Like that, fungi also depend upon other animals. According to the nutrition, fungi are classified into three different groups, and they are parasitic fungi, then saprophytic, and another is symbiotic or symbionts, you may also say BIONTS, symbionts. What is parasitic? You know what is the parasitic association? Parasitic association means when two animals are present in a association and one is benefited and other one is harmed, then that type of association is called parasitic association, and which is get benefited, that is called parasite. Like that, in fungi, some fungi are act as parasite and they depend upon other animals for their nutrition, and those type of fungi are called parasitic fungi. What is a parasitic fungi? The fungi which depend on other animals for their food, and only these fungi are benefited, and the host is harmed. Host means upon which these fungi are growing. The host cell, that is the host cell. Suppose in a plant is affected by any fungal disease, then the plant is called a host and the fungus is called a parasitic fungi. Okay, the fungi which depends upon other animals and for their food, and only these fungi are benefited and the host cell is harmed, then that is called the parasitic fungi. Those fungi are called parasitic fungi. Then these parasitic fungi are again two types. A type of fungi which kills the host cell, and another type of fungi which does not kill the host cell. So there are two types, parasitic fungi, one is biotrophs, another is necrotrophs, necrotrophs. Biotrophs are those fungi which does not kill the host cell, and those are called biotrophs. And which fungi kills the host cell, they are called necrotrophs. Okay, if a fungi affect the plant and the plant will die, then that type of fungi are called necrotrophs, because they kill the host cell. If the host cell survive and fungi get benefited, but the host cell is affected, then but survive, then those type of fungi are called biotrophs. Okay, parasitic fungi clear. Then saprophytic fungi, those fungi which depend upon dead and decay animals for their nutrition, they are called saprophytic fungi. The fungi which depend upon dead and decay animals or plants, for their nutrient, they are called saprophytic fungi, which depend upon dead and decay animals and not on the living animals. Okay, they are called saprophytic fungi. Then symbiotic fungi, the fungi which lives with another organism in a symbiotic form. That means when the fungi lives with another organism and both are benefited. In parasitic, only fungi benefited, but in symbiotic association, when two organisms are benefited. So symbiotic association is when the fungi lives with another organism and both are benefited. Fungi also benefited, another host cell also benefited. That type of association of fungi is called symbiotic association, and the fungi is called symbiotic fungi or symbionts. Okay, so what is the example of symbiotic fungi? It is asked frequently in question. One is mycorrhiza, mycorrhiza, mycorrhiza. What is mycorrhiza? It is the fungal association present in the root of Pinus. Generally, Pinus is a genus one. In the root of Pinus, a fungal association of Pinus root and fungus is observed. In that, the fungus also benefited. The Pinus root provide a shelter to fungus, and fungus provide the nitrogenous assimilation to the Pinus. That's why that is the beneficial symbiotic association between Pinus root and fungus. Another symbiotic association also is there, that is called a lichen, LICHEN. Lichen is the best pollution indicator. Okay, lichen. In lichen, your fungus provide the shelter and algae is present inside the fungal shelter, and algae provide the nutrition. Fungus provide the shelter, algae provide the nutrition. So that fungus and algae association is called lichen, and fungus and Pinus root association is called mycorrhiza. In lichen, fungus provide shelter. In mycorrhiza, Pinus root provide shelter. In lichen, fungus provide shelter, and inside the fungus, algae provide the nutrition. Okay, so this is the symbiotic algae, where the algae present in association with other organism and both are benefited. In parasite, only one is benefited. Then next thing, after the nutrition, the reserve food. Reserve food of fungi is glycogen. Glycogen. What is the reserve food of starch? Reserve food of plant. Reserve food of plant is starch, and reserve food of animal are glycogen. But here in fungi, the reserve food of fungi is glycogen, which is animal character. Presence of cell wall is the plant character. Presence of glycogen as the reserve food material is the plant character of fungi. Sorry, animal character of fungi. Okay, next, after the reserve food, nutrition over, reserve food over, then there is reproduction. After the reserve food, there comes reproduction. Fungus reproduce by means of three different types: vegetative reproduction, asexual reproduction, and sexual reproduction. Okay, vegetative reproduction occurs generally by your fragmentation, then fission, fission, and budding, bud formation, budding. Then asexual reproduction occurs by formation of special asexual spores. Okay, those spores are called generally sporangiospores. These sporangiospores are developed inside the sporangia. Okay, sporangia are the plural, sporangium is the singular. These sporangiospores are two types. One is motile. Motile means which can locomote. Another is non-motile. Motile sporangia is called zoospore. ZOOSPORE, zoospore. Non-motile sporangiospores are called aplanospore. APLANO, aplanospores. Okay, zoospores are motile due to presence of flagella, and aplanospores are non-motile. Zoospore. Another type of spore is conidiospore. CONIDO, conidiospore. SPORES, conidiospores or conidia. Conidia. Conidia are generally found exogenously. That means exogenously means directly to the environment, not inside a closed structure. Sporangiospores are developed inside the sporangium. That means inside a closed structure. But conidiospores or conidia are developed directly to the environment, not present developed inside the closed structure. That's why they are called developed exogenously. 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 That means directly into the environment. Conidia, another type of spore. Conidia. Then another type of spore is oidia. 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 Then another type of spore is chlamydospore. Chlamydo. Chlamydospore. 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 Plural is spores. S. Chlamydospores are stress resistant. That means they can survive in very unfavorable condition. Okay, maybe in high heat, high temperature condition, or maybe in high dry condition also. These chlamydospores are survive. Even in the death of the hyphae or even in the death of the thallus also, these chlamydospores are survive. Okay, they are the stress resistance. Stress resistance spores. Maybe a question arise. What is dash is the stress resistance asexual spore, that is the chlamydospores. Okay, so these are the generally 4 different type of spores arise, asexual spores, by which the reproduction of the fungi occurs. Then your sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction occurs in very rare and extreme stress condition. Okay, sexual reproduction occurs in extreme stress condition in fungi. The general type of reproduction is asexual reproduction. Okay, then sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction is occurs by 3 steps. The 3 steps of sexual reproduction. Not type. I am not discussing the type of sexual reproduction. I am discussing the 3 steps. What are the steps? In the 3 steps, first step is plasmogamy. Plasmogamy refers to fusion of a protoplast or your cytoplasm. Plasmogamy, then karyogamy. K-A-R-Y-O, karyogamy. Karyogamy refers to fusion of a nucleus. Then your meiosis. Okay. There are 3 steps of sexual reproduction. One is plasmogamy, then karyogamy and meiosis. Plasmogamy is the fusion of a protoplast. Karyogamy is the fusion of a nucleus, and meiosis is the classification process. Then the steps are complete. Then what are the process? Types of sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction occurs by various types. Like first one is gametangial contact. First one is gametic fusion. Gametic fusion means there are 2 different type of gametes are developed in fungi. One is male gamete, another is female gamete. When male and female gamete both are fuses with each other. Suppose this is male gamete, this is female gamete. When male and female gamete fuses with each other and a new zygote is formed, new plant fungal thallus is formed, that is called gametic fusion. Okay. Then the next type is gametangial contact. Okay, gametangial contact. What is this gametangial? Gametangial contact. In gametangial contact, there are 2 different type of gametangia are developed. One is male, another is female. And when they came into contact with each other, their cell wall is burst and your male nuclei enter into female one and fuses with the female nucleus or oocyte. Okay, and this process is called your gametangial contact. This is male gametangium, this is female gametangium. Then their fusion process occurs. This is the fusion process. After the fusion, cell wall burst and male nuclei enter into the female one and fertilization occurs. Gametangial contact. Then another is gametangial copulation. Gametangial copulation. Gametangial copulation means sometime what's happened, there are 2 different type of hypha. One is azimos positive, another is azimos negative. Okay. In extreme condition, in very stress condition, what's happened, two different type of hypha developed some progametangia. Okay, these are called progametangia. These are called your progametangia. These progametangia develop into gametangium, and when they fuses with each other, a zygospore is produced. And this will develop into a new thallus of the fungi. Okay, so this is the gametic copulation. Then next type is your somatogamy. SOMATO, somatogamy, GAMO. In somatogamy what happens? In higher fungi like your mushroom, agaricus. In higher fungi what happens? Your male and female reproductive part or sexual reproduction part is absent. There fusion of somatic cell or vegetative hypha occurs. Some fusion of vegetative hypha. Suppose this is suppose this hypha containing male nuclei and this hypha containing female nuclei. The fusion of vegetative hypha occurs. Okay. After the fusion, the cell wall burst and the male nuclei enter into female hypha, and your fertilization process occurs. This is called the process of somatogamy. Okay. The next step is spermatization. 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 In spermatization, what happens? Some type of spores are developed, male gamete are developed, and they are called spermatia. Okay, in spermatization, a special type of male gamete develop, and that is called spermatia. And these spermatia are developed inside the spermatogonia. These spermatia are carried by means of insects to the female part, like the pollination process in the angiospermic plant. These spermatia are carried by some insects to the female part, and when after that your fertilization process occurs. So this is the sexual reproduction by means of spermatization. Okay, sexual reproduction occurs by means of gametic fusion, gamete-angial contact, gamete-angial copulation, somatogamy, and spermatization. These are the different type of sexual reproduction. Okay, so this much the introduction and general characters of fungi. In reproduction, in the last point, reproduction we discuss vegetative, asexual, sexual. Vegetative by means of fragmentation, fission, budding, asexual by various types of spores, and sexual reproduction by various types of method. Okay, so this much in this video. We will discuss further in the next video. Okay, thank you. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.